Good evening, Internet. Lancks here with another replay for you. This one, a pretty interesting one, because as you can see in front of you, it's me. It's Lancks. So, I'm playing a game here on the Fiber OP Spring Cup. I had the good luck and fortune to be playing against a actual professional player. My first round player got knocked out because his settings weren't correct, and it said he was from Zimbabwe, and so the GM just kicked him out, which is kind of lame, but there you go. My opponent here, since I got to the second round by default, is Complexity Academy's Pooh. So I have a rule, and that is that if you go to teamliquid.net and you search for their name on their wiki and they come up, they're probably pretty good. And so after doing a little research on Pooh, I found out that he is in Complexity Academy. He's not, a professional player per se. He's not playing StarCraft as his only job right now, but he is a really good player, and he's in their academy, so he's obviously got talent. And he's won a whole lot of tournament games, whereas I have won none. So I have gotten myself firmly into the Diamond League, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable with my macro at this point. Earlier on I was losing a lot of games because I just didn't have as much stuff as the other guy, which is a pretty telling way to know that you really shouldn't be in your league because your macro isn't up to snuff. So I think it is now. I've got a really nice Reaper opening that I like using against most races, especially Terran. And it works okay against Protoss, unless they get a Mothership Core and a lot of Stalkers early on. So we'll see if Pooh does just that. This guy is Grandmaster level. I am Diamond, so I'm a good 2 tiers below him. And he's pretty darn good. He's got slick timings, he doesn't get supply blocked, he knows his stuff. So my build here, I get a barracks, and then a gas, which is saturate, and then I get a second barracks, and then I start getting Reapers. And I usually get the second depot here just to block people off because I don't like people coming and snooping around my base. Really not necessary, kind of slows down the build a bit, but I prefer to have the element of surprise. Now, what I probably should realize is that having the element of surprise against a Grandmaster level player doesn't really work that well, unless you're going to surprise them with battle cruisers. They're going to be able to react to a couple of Reapers. So Pooh here is sending out his first probe, his first scouting probe, to see what's up, and he's going to hit this wall pretty quickly, and he's going to know that I'm up to something because I'm blocking him out of my base. So I'm managing to keep up my macro here, getting workers training. Got my first Reaper coming out, and I like to wait till I get 100 before I start the next one, so I get them both synced up. I like to go with 3. There we go. And Pooh's probe turning around doesn't really get in, so he's just gonna jet out. And down on Pooh's side of the base, he's got a Stalker coming out, which is the proper response to this kind of thing. If you don't know what your opponent's getting, you generally want to have a Stalker coming, because Stalkers counter pretty much all early pressure. He's getting a Mothership Core as well. Again, counters early pressure really well, especially if you are going to do an expand. And now, I honestly wouldn't have expected an expand out of this build, because he's got 2 gas already. But as you'll see, that's what he's going to get. And even with that 400 minerals into a Nexus, there's just not much I can do about it. But let's see how this goes. So 3 Reapers. I decide that if he's out there, he's probably going to see me coming, so I may as well take out the probe in the tower first. And so my Reapers are heading down. Also in the background, I get 2 more Reapers rallied to these ones. So if this is any kind of success, then the next Reapers will come in and reinforce, and I keep up the pressure. So back in base, manage to keep my macro up, get my second orbital coming down. So this will hopefully let me expand behind the pressure. And in normal games, that's exactly what I do. So I choose exactly the wrong spot to jump up, because here's a Mothership Core and a Sentry and a Stalker. And I try to pick up a couple probes, get one, and then figure, oh god, he's walling me in. He's really walling me in, and I try to make a break for it. Lose a Stalker, or a Reaper, and manage to get it with the other 2. Not terrible. I figure, things are still going okay, and the other 2 Reapers are coming. In the background, I start getting Marines, because if he has a Mothership Core, you want to have at least 4 Marines in your base, just because that thing can come around and wreak some havoc. So, Stalker, again, encountering my Reapers, and I see this expand here, and I figure, well, he can't have many units. Well, he's got a Mothership Core, and he's got 2 Stalkers, and that's enough to push back 4 Reapers, unfortunately. So the Mothership Core can't really do much. It's too slow at this point, but of course it has that Nexus Overcharge, so if he's got 100 energy, which he does, then he'll be able to basically keep me out of his base permanently. And I jump again into a bunch of Stalkers. Not too good. Trying to micro about that Reaper. And he's getting more gateways. He's going to be counter-pressuring me with those things. And there goes that Nexus Overcharge, and I reacted far too late for that. I was way too close. Lose all those Reapers except for 1. Or, where is he? There he is. 1 poor Reaper. So, I believe I just sent him to guard the tower, so I'd have an idea of what was coming. I figure he's expanding. he's not going to be pressuring me anytime soon. So I decided to tech up a little bit, getting a tep lab, more barracks, more barracks. I figure I should probably get some Marines out and maybe do some mine pressure or tank pressure. I've been finding tank pressure isn't working out. Second orbital coming up. I did kind of stop with my SCV production a little bit, which is not so good. Still, if we look at the army count, he actually has a pretty sizable army, frankly. Lots of gas in his army. Not so much in mine. All Marines at this point, because all my Reapers are dead. Oh my god. So 3 Stalkers coming up, and I am attacking these rocks, which really wasn't the greatest idea, because it meant that I was kind of slow to react. Losing a Marine there. Retreating back up, figuring if I can get a tank out, then I can hold this pretty easily. But Stalkers, of course, will beat Marines one-on-one, because he can just micro them out. And excellent micro there. He doesn't lose a single Stalker in this engagement, I believe. I figure I can try to... Well, I guess I ran away. Getting a Marauder out and getting slow shells, so I figure that'll also help me deal with the Stalker pressure. In the background, he isn't actually stopping getting units, getting sentries, which is quite wise, because good for defense, and getting them early lets them charge up. So I continue to get more production, figuring I need to do that. I really should have expanded here. I should have pushed out with my Marines and Marauder, but I was a little worried, and I wanted to get this tank out. And now that I have a tank, I figure maybe I can, you know, siege up and sit here, which is a bad idea. I should have gone out here. I figured he was probably just sitting here waiting to ambush me with more stuff. A bad assumption on my part. He's got his proxy pylon up, so he'll be ready to counter me when I try to move out. And his militia corps here preventing any shenanigans from going on in his main base. And he's got that new Zealot skin, which is quite fancy. So, I really shouldn't be sitting on my laurels here, but I was trying to keep up my macro. I supply blocked myself for a while there. You can see getting 2 depots at once. This hallucinated Phoenix threw me for a loop for a moment, but I mean, I realized what it was pretty quickly. But he did see my tank, which was rather crucial. And then I was getting another mech unit of some kind and letting this SCV go idle, not so good. Getting Widow Mines. Widow Mine tank and bio is actually a pretty good way to engage the enemy. Of course, if they have Colossus, you're not going to do too well. So got to production, we can see that he is actually getting a Robo Bay right now. And he's already got a Robo facility, he's getting an Immortal. Forge, double Forge coming down, so he'll have the upgrades to match mine. In fact, do I have an engineering bay at this point? I don't think I do. That's not good at all. So I finally siege up in front of my base, and I figure I'll let this one last SCV finish. Wouldn't mind coming out as well. Look at him go. I love these little guys. So cute. But of course he's got observers, so that's not going to work too well. Now, of course, I do actually pick that off, which was kind of neat. And finally, out comes the Robo Command. I probably should have put a... I usually put a missile turret in my base just out of habit because I really hate observers. I don't like people watching my builds, even though there's not really much you can do about it. And so it looks like Pooh is massing his forces, getting ready to move out. He's getting a Colossi. He's not getting the range upgrade yet, which is a little odd, actually. I'm surprised. More gateways. Chronoing out those upgrades, which honestly really isn't necessary at this point because I am not even getting my own. Not very good. I mean, I don't have shield, I don't have stim. I was totally panicking at this point. I was in full-on panic mode because I'm thinking, oh my god, he already pressured me. He already had his expo out way before me. I mean, look at these minerals. He's down to 1,235. I'm at 1,370, and that's with a 1,485. So I basically just started. These mules are the only thing keeping me competitive with him at all. In fact, if we look at the income pop up here, we can see that he's beating me even with my mules. That's definitely not good. So I figure, okay, I got 4 tanks, I got a decent battle force, I should make something happen. And he apparently figures that this is also a good time for him to meet me in the field. So he grabs the tower, I grab this tower. He's got an observer on me. I honestly can't see anything. I figure, you know what, let's go take this area. Pooh, on the other hand, he's just waiting for me. He knows exactly what's coming, and he's got enough sentries that he'll be able to force field my army in 2 if I do something really stupid, like, you know, leave it on the ramp. So I figure... Not seeing anything. He's not on the tower. I did not notice this observer, which was very bad, because he knows exactly where I am. He was honestly probably panicking at this point too, because this is actually not a very big force, but he catches me in just the right spot. It's not going to end well. So I siege up, figure, okay, he wants to play that way. But of course all I got was a Stalker and I think 1 Zealot, and heavily injured this one. Now he's got 2 observers on me. This is overkill, and I still haven't figured out that he's watching me. And I'm just getting my stim and shield now. I think I'm getting my 1, and I'm not getting the other one, and I have another orbital. And he's sending in... This I found really weird. He's sending in zealots, one by one. Which was a really strange decision. Because I just kind of took them out. I'm not really sure what he was planning on doing there. I really should have moved up further and kept up the pressure. But I was worried about... I saw one Colossi. I figured there's going to be more. Gotta be careful. And putting a Widow Mine down there. And I believe I was going to lift off this and plop it down over in that expo. There we go. Oh, no, that's... Right, so I was getting Starport. I figured Colossi need to have Vikings, so got one Starport, getting another. Have one medevac out just to heal up my units here. Wasn't planning on doing drops, really. I probably should have. And so Pooh, seeing a very bio-heavy force, figures, well, Archons. They work pretty well against bio. They're great at absorbing tank fire. Immortals are good at absorbing tank fire too, but of course they tend to die from the bio ball. So having a little bit of both is best. So up over here, we've got my Marauders and Marine coming down. He's still watching me with an observer. He knows exactly what I'm doing. My orbital command here finally moving out. I've just noticed that the music isn't playing, which is kind of odd. I'm pretty sure I enabled that before, but... Oh, there's the music. Okay. Well, music enabled. Not keeping up my production here. I'm a little low on money. I've got lots of orbital command energy. I have a bad habit of forgetting about my mules. I think maybe I was planning on dropping them here. But I was just so distracted by... I'm not sure what I was thinking at this point, actually, because I don't really know what's distracting me, because my army's not doing anything. My macro's not doing anything. Let's go to the Lancks cam and see what exactly I'm doing. Right now I'm dropping mules. Worrying about that other command center. Getting my rally point set up properly. I've got 4. But there really isn't enough else for me to do. Oh, and I was getting a Ghost Academy. Figured, well, EMP's good, right? And I do like ghosts. Ghosts are a personal favorite of mine. And here it comes. Decides to engage. I do a stim and run, which isn't bad, but there's too many Archons and the Immortal. They're eating up the tanks. And I'm pretty much toast. So I run for it. Now, if these Vikings had been there a few seconds earlier, I might have stood a chance, because at least I would have been able to hurt the Colossus. And I'm not really sure why I stopped this medevac here. A bit of a blunder. I was going to take out my rocks. I'm not sure that's necessary, but there you go. So I really need more units. Getting out tanks and Widow Mines, well, Widow Mines. More Vikings, more medevacs. They actually build at the same time, so it can be quite handy. Got my units and figuring, oh god, last stand. Here goes. Oh, and he took out that. So I'm not really sure what this time warp is for, because I didn't have anything over there, but... Oh, and my ghosts just finished and walked into the massacre and just die, so... That really wasn't very good either. And I decided to call GG because, well, I got owned. So, I mean, I guess it's not too bad getting owned by a Grandmaster level player, but there you go. I think I did decently. I could have certainly done better, especially when it came to my macro in the late game. I just fell apart, whereas Pooh continued macroing a lot and pretty much crushed me. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll be bringing some more pro games in the near future. I'll probably finish off with a few more of those Jake Bake replays, and then I'll see who else I can find. So, I'll see you guys in a couple of days. Like, comment, and sub for more.